Okay, we'd like to thank everybody for being here, coming again to our Kwanzaa celebration for 2020. We're talking about the 7 Kwanzaa principles, represents words of power. Each day we should be walking away with things to think about, things to implement into our lives, things to share with other people. We found out, we try to go over the days before quickly, so that as we lead up to the other one, each day should build on each other. Hari Gani, that's our greeting. That means, what's the news in Swahili? The news during Kwanzaa is the principle for each day. And each day we should walk away with a principle that we should try to implement for that week and for the rest of our lives as much as we can. Of all the holidays observed in December, Hanukkah, Jewish holiday, Christmas, Christian holiday, Kwanzaa is probably the least understood. 7 words of power. Words are powerful. The words used in the 7 principles, the 7 Kwanzaa principles, are designed to empower, embolden, and re-energize the Black community. It can help guide the Black community, give us a reason and a purpose for what we do what is needed to free our people mentally, physically, and spiritually. The best way that we can do this is together, under the guidance of the Creator, who has given us a purpose to live for on planet Earth. Kwanzaa was created in 1966, and it is now 54 years old, by Karenga as a way to unite the community following the Watts riot in 1965 in California, which lasted 4 days. He's a professor out of California State University. Kwanzaa means first fruits. Who are our first fruits? Our children. The information we feed our children help them grow. So with these 7 principles, we can help our people grow into our purpose for living as a community. On day 1, we found out it's called Ujima, unity, to strive for a principled and harmonious togetherness in the family, community, nation, and African world community. It is fundamental to all of the other principles and stands on it, stems from it. Our principles must be built on principles that elevate our people, mentally, physically, and spiritually. On day 2, we found out about Kucha Chakalia, which means self-determination. To define ourselves, Africans' names have purpose. Most people don't know that. They just have a name. They didn't know why we have African names. Why do we have names? This is for what? Name ourselves. Other people name us. Do you have an African name? Create for ourselves. Are you creating for yourself? Speak for ourselves. Are you afraid to speak up and speak what's on your mind? This requires knowing who we are. Question, who are we? This requires believing in who we are. But if we don't know who we are, then that requires others to define us. And so we should refuse to let others define us. On day 3, we had Ujama, collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our community together, solve our problems together. This is a commitment to look beyond ourselves and see the needs of others, join together to solve problems facing our community. On day 4, we looked at Umoja, no, Ujamaa, sorry, cooperative economics. Swahili words means extended family brotherhood. It takes a village to raise a child. We've all heard that. In the past, when I grew up, if you cut up, somebody down the street saw you, they whipped you, and guess what? Then when you came back home, I'm told mama, and then mama whip you. That's what? The community raising it. To build our own businesses, control the economics of our own community, share in all its works and wealth. The commitment to buy from Black businesses, supporting Black businesses inside and outside of our family is the key to building wealth in the Black community. Today, we are on Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and development of our community in order to restore what? Restore our people to their traditional greatness. Questions should be asked. What are you talking about here? What is our traditional greatness? We created mathematics in Africa, science, history, geography, the healing arts, music, and etc. You name it, we created it. It didn't come out of the sky. The Europeans didn't create it. It was already here when they came on the stage. Our purpose is to be the temple of the living Creator and the people of God. When you don't know your purpose, others will create a purpose for you. Our legacy and purpose has been stolen and attributed to others. Do you know who stole it? Do you know who's attributed this? As an example, our ancient African sacred texts have been rewritten and given back to us under a different name called the Bible, with a counterfeit people. The greatness of African Americans lie in our ability to live in our original purpose. Question, what is our original purpose? Our original purpose is to be the vessels of the Creator, the mouthpiece of the Creator, the temple of the living God, a holy people. Instead, we are the property of the state and others like master, fulfilling their will, not the will of the Creator. I do not think that we even know who we are and the will of the Creator, but we should. According to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for what? One thing, lack of knowledge. What knowledge is it talking about? Knowledge of who you are, what we are, what we have accomplished, and where are we going. To know this, we must study to show ourselves approved and workmen rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Are we the people talked about in the Bible? Are we the true ancient African Hebrews of the Bible days? If so, then who are the European Jews in Israel today? These are some of the questions we have to wrestle with today. If we follow the traditions of the ancient Africans, we would know because our purpose, is in our name. What? Our purpose is in where? Is in our name. Like Ayanfe means the beloved lady in the Yoruba Bible. Mope means I am perfect in the Creator. Duro de Oluwa means he that waiteth on the Creator. In short, Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, it's a song that we used to sing. For he that wait upon the Lord shall renew his strength. He shall mount up with wings as eagles. He shall run and not be weary. He shall walk and not faint. Teach me, Lord, to wait. That's what a meaning is. Just imagine if you're walking around and people are calling your name and it's telling you to walk with the Lord. It's just telling you to be perfect. This is the things that will be driving you. This will be your purpose. This will be your existence. But I hope you can see that they took away our names and whipped our purpose from us and out of us. Each hour of the day, someone would call your name, which would remind you of your purpose. That is how heavy our ancient African traditions were. Today, I am told that Africans are not allowed to speak or use their African birth names, but are told by the missionaries that they must use and be given a so-called Christian European name. So you can now identify yourself with European Christianity, which has no deep meaning like the ancient African names. I pray that you will search to see if these things are so. Then decide what you will do about your purpose. If others are controlling it, or will you take control of your life? At this time, we'll open up the study up to everybody, our celebration, give your comments on purpose and what you're thinking. You have to unmute yourself, and then you can begin. Do we have any volunteers?
Okay, well, thank you. Well stated, Dr. Emmanuel, Dad, in this case as well. It is, just as you stated, it's very important. And a lot of people spend their lifetime trying to figure out their purpose in life. And I think as you age, even your purpose might even change based off of like experiences that you've gone through, maybe that your life has turned in a different direction and done different things. But throughout that whole sequence, it is very important to make sure that you are seeking the Lord out and finding new ways to find this purpose rather than looking for others to give you that purpose. And an example is, I know I was talking to, I work for the Department of Defense and interacting with a lot of pilots, a lot of Navy people who fly on aircrafts and do different things. Just being around them for a while, I was like, man, it would be kind of cool to, learn how to become a pilot, kind of learn, all the different things and nuances they do, and kind of like have a big service for my country and, just kind of do things different, especially since I'm a civilian working side by side with them. And I remember that I talked to people that had served in the past, two of my uncles on my mother's side. And they were like, are you sure you want to get into the, like, what's your purpose behind that? What is your thought process behind it? Well, I was like, I just want to get in a plane, fly around, protect my country, do this and do that. And they're like, being that they served in the past, they were kind of just like, I mean, that sounds pretty vague. I mean, a lot of times when you get into these military services, if you don't have a plan for yourself, they will make one for you. And of course, they will talk it up as they, learn more about you or hear a few things here and there. And they say, okay, we're going to send you here. We're going to have you doing this. We're going to have you doing that, because those are the needs that they need for their military base or for their military structure. So that could easily be turned into not your purpose or what you originally planned, but it could be turned into their purpose based off of what they needed during that time or at that time. So that's just an example that came to me. Of course, I still am a Department of Defense civilian, so I haven't really jumped on board. And to be fair, I'm probably too old and to jump into that type of service. And I'm still content just doing what I am doing, working side by side with them as a test engineer, making sure that their aircraft and all the things that they're working on is very safe and protective for them. But that was just an example that came to mind when I thought of purpose, of how so many, and that's just one example, but there's so many people you can talk to. And, friends here and there, family here and there that, you know, they listen to your ideas, they hear you, and they're like, man, this person is, you know, they got these great structures, they got this good stuff. You know what? Maybe I could use them for this. Maybe I could put them in a position for this, which would benefit me, not necessarily their purpose. You know, so it's important to I would say seek out Christ in a lot of different things, as well as, you know, pray and just understand your strengths, your weaknesses, uh, so that you can continue to find the purpose in life and act on it rather than just kind of flowing with the crowd until you are used as a puppet for other people's um, purposes, I guess, or for their lives. Yeah, that's everything.
We have someone else?
Yeah, I'd like to comment. I'm driving right now, and I hope you can hear me without a lot of background
Yeah, we
noise.
hear you fine. Hmm.
Okay. Um, Purpose, the way it was presented was very good. And the part about others giving you a purpose if you don't have a purpose, the Father, the Creator, gave us a purpose, but most people really don't know what that purpose is. And it's been skewed by um, pastors and churches, instead of us searching the scriptures daily as the apostles told us to see what our purpose is. I mean, it says this is the whole duty of man, to fear Yah and keep his commandments. But how many of us really understand that? We lived here in these United States, and it seems like the purpose here is to get the American dream, make as much money as you can, and people make a lot of money, and they just want more money and more money and more money. You have millionaires and billionaires, money they can't even spend in their whole lifetime or even pass on. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna one day answer to the Most High. We're all gonna die one day. You can't take all that money and all the wealth and all the American dream with you. People come over here from other countries, and their purpose is to get the American dream. So it's not just, it's a worldwide purpose to circumvent people from realizing their purpose as the Creator has ordained. Our Savior came and represented his Father, and he said that he would go to the Father and send the Spirit so that we could represent him. And that's what the world needs. It needs people that have a purpose, who know who they are and can stand up for the Father through his Son. He said that the Son was the express image of the Father. And then he says that we are to be we are to be the image of the Savior. So I'm thankful for this reminder that we've got to find our purpose and try to live through it, live it out through the grace of the Almighty. So I'm thankful for the words that have been said and the encouragement. Kwanzaa is truly, it's not just a time for us to, I know there's gift giving is a part of it, but it's more a time to reflect on where we are individually, as a family, and as a people here in these United States that were bought from another continent, enslaved here, and given a different purpose. Our purpose was to be perpetual slaves, but we got our freedom. So now we need to know, well, what is your purpose now that you've been set free? Thank you.
Do we have someone else who would like to make a comment?
Yeah, shalom. This is Samatya. I wanted to comment that I actually was talking to somebody this morning about something similar to this, and they were saying that if you don't know your own purpose, if you don't know your purpose, then you leave yourself open for anybody to give you a purpose, basically, and keep changing it. And that's what we have done, unfortunately, as a people. It's like if you have if you're a computer, you have a program, anything that conflicts with that program, you're going to try to reject it. But if you're a blank slate, people can program you to do anything, So that's why they we had lost our purpose as a people, and we became a blank slate, just waiting for somebody to give us some direction and to determine who we are, because that kind of, to me, ties in also with self-determination. If you're not determining who you are yourself, you're outsourcing everything to other people, I don't know who I am, so who do you say I am? Okay, I must be that. I don't know what to call myself, so what do you say I should call myself? Okay, I'll call myself that. So we just become tossed to and fro, basically. Whereas if you try to tell somebody who knows who they are what they should be called, they're gonna say, no, that's not who I am, or that's not what I am, I'm this, because they already know. Or tell them what they should be doing. No, that's not what I should be doing, because I should be doing this. So basically we have to comprehend ourselves, what our purpose is in the Most High. And also, as a nation, because God called us as a people. And if we don't, then we tend to just, if you don't stand for something, that's another way they've been saying in the past. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, basically. So you let people call you, Negroes for a couple of years, and then you let them call you Afro-Americans for another couple of years, and you let them call you African-Americans for another couple of years, and let them call you Black for another couple of years. So how can you keep renaming the people? You know what I'm saying? If they don't know who they are, they'll just accept whatever comes their way. So we really have to learn our purpose so that we can be on track, know where we are, know where we're going, or we won't just be wandering. It's the same like with a destination. If you're in a vehicle, you're trying to go somewhere, if you don't know where you're going, where you going to end up at? Wherever, So you say, well, I'm trying to get over here. I know I got to take this road, that road. If you don't know your destination, you're just going to wander, and that's what we've done a lot of times in our mind and in our spirit, because we don't know our purpose. So that's definitely something very important that needs to be corrected. We need to know what our purpose is so that we can be on point and on mission and do what we're supposed to do. So that's what I wanted to share.
Sure, lots of people have lots to say about purpose. All right, it's open.
I just wanted to mention that we don't know our purpose, because we have to remember when we was brought into slavery that they separated us. They separated the tribes so that they would not be able to speak to one another. And they whipped the men and told them they had to change their names, and they could not continue to keep their African names. They were told they had to be given a different name, and they were given the master's name, the one that owned them. And this went on. They were told that they could not read. They did not want them to read, because they knew if they did read the Bible, they would know certain things. So this is why all this was taken from them. And you have to remember, if they did this to our ancestors many, many years ago and stripped them of everything they had, then they had nothing to teach their children. They had nothing to teach us. So we in turn just accepted what the Americans said. And we went along with what they told us. We didn't even think to say, well, why is it that it's only white people in the Bible? Only Europeans in the Bible? what happened to the Black people? Well, what happened to us is everything was taken from us. So this way we had nothing to look back on, nothing to look forward to. So now is the time that you need to pick up your Bible and read, and go back and read what the Africans, our people, God's people, because we are God's chosen people. We have to believe that and know it, and we can fulfill it by the things that we do. And if we go back and look at what was said by our African Israelites years ago, and the way they lived, if we can just see that and put it in our mind, read the Bible and try and connect it, and pray and ask the Lord to give us wisdom and knowledge so that we'll be able to understand what we read. And we have to remember that, because remember the different churches that they have, and that's been going on for years. Everybody have their own Bible. The Catholic has their Bible, the Jehovah Witness have their Bibles, the Methodists, the Baptists, different ones. They say, yes, read the King James Version, but then they put their Bible there and ask you to read it. And when they're talking to you, they're talking to you from their Bible. And when you have Sunday school and when you have Bible study, they have books that they give you that you're to read from. And this, you study this and study that. They have it fixed that if you're going to a Catholic church and it's a certain day, a certain time, that you can go anywhere. Like Charlotte is in California, and I'm here in South Carolina, and someone else is in Georgia. They have you in different places. You can go in any Catholic church and pick up the Bible, their Bible, and read, and you can participate in what's going on. And that's because they have you reading their word and what they have put up. And this is so with the Jehovah Witness. If you go one place, no matter what country you're in, no matter where you are, you can pick up their Bible and read it and get involved with that. But that is because this is the way they've made it. And it's that with everything, with the money, with politics, with banking, with just what's going on right now with Mitch McConnell. He's fighting just just a few dollars that won't make any difference, but he has an airplane and he has a boat and he has money and his family is not starving. They're not even thinking about us. Now, if they were really true and they were thinking about their people and what's going on, things would be set up better, but they don't care because all they're thinking about is making more money, getting richer, have more things, and they're not interested in the poorer class people like us. Nowadays, if you have a savings account, they're not even giving you anything, no interest at all on your savings that you have in there. But the wealthy is getting plenty of money for their savings, and they're able to get breaks. Now they're trying to help the airlines, they're trying to help the businesses, but they still are not considering the people. So we have to try and see what's going on and think and read and look back on how things have been going and see, have they really made any difference? Every time a new president comes in or a new senator or whatever, they tell us what they're going to do, and have it really made any difference? Look at what's going on now. Are we living in the last days? These are days of sorrow, and they keep telling us it's going to get better. But has it gotten better? No. Another virus has come up. It has not gotten better. So I think that we have to think about it, read about it, go back to the Bible and pray and meditate on what's going on and ask the Lord to show us who we are and what our purpose is. And let us think about the things that has happened in the past and the things they keep telling us over and over again. And it just doesn't change. It's still the same from year after year. It doesn't get any different. And to me, we're living in the last days, and we have to remember what the Bible said. He told us, remember the days of Noah and what was going on. And you have to remember that when Christ comes again, that it will be like the days of Noah. We won't even know what's going on. We won't even know when it happened. And he's told us to beware of false prophets and the things that are going on in the church and in politics. So we have to stop and think and try and see what we can figure out and look back on things, because right now we're just caught up in what's out there, the movies, we're with our video games and the children. This is all they do is sit down with these video games. You see them even walking in the street, not even paying attention to how they're crossing the street. They're so busy with their games and they're looking at all that's going on. So something is wrong. And we as a people need to see just what's going on and what's happening. So this is all I wanted to say, that I hope that we will pray and ask the Lord to open our eyes and bring us out of this darkness that we're in and bring us into the light. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments that have been made. They are very, very thought-provoking. As I was listening, what came to my thoughts and my heart is, in order to believe that we have a purpose, we have to believe that we are important enough to have purpose. People who have purpose have vision, direction, and they get things done. And I wonder how much faith and family contributes to our sense of value and our ability to define and walk in our purpose. And I think about, as each of you have said so eloquently, how our faith and what we are allowed to believe in has been manipulated and retaught and fed to us. And secondarily, how much effort has gone into breaking down the Black family to separate us. And Lillian knows my story, and some of you may, that I didn't grow up with my biological family. And for years that wrestled with me. So I am deeply appreciative to be a part of these sessions, to be a part of this part of my family. So I'm recognizing how what we believe in, knowing who we are in Christ, defines our value, how our relationships with our family, and in family is the one place where you can be loved unconditionally, how those things tell us that yes, I have value, I can have impact, and the importance of reinforcing those things in our immediate families and in our wider community families, and what value that has in us being able to define our purpose, walk in our purpose, live out our purpose, and impact ourselves and those around us.
Is there anyone that would like to have something to say? Okay. Renee, are you still there? And Sandy?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Can y'all, you and Sandy, or one of y'all sing that song of what we had? Isaiah 58, y'all remember the song that I tried to sing? You know, I'm not a singer.
I would much rather speak. I would much rather speak. So let me do that, please. And then maybe Sandy would be happy to sing. But I am appreciative of all of the words as well. Yeah, I just love to listen to wisdom, and we're several generations here, and I just think that's where we really learn the most. That's where we gain the most. When the baby is sitting at his mama's feet, sitting at his grandmama's feet, sitting at his great grandmama's feet, that's where wisdom was shared. And so we're fortunate that we have, we have babies, and we have middle-aged folks, and we have those who are approaching, and then we have elders, and those in the middle, we have everything in between. And I think that's really rich. We're very rich in that way. And certainly our purpose, we can learn more about our individual purposes as we understand the purpose of family, and how we are to connect and support each other. So I'm just thankful too, for this opportunity to share and listen. And yeah, God bless all of you. It's just good to be able to do this.
All right, so Hotep, everybody, Abaragani, and all of that good kind of stuff. I'm gonna I'm sorry, I'll break protocol here. I'm put myself on the screen. I was just listening, but it's in a sense, it's not fair. Ayana, come sit down. So it has been very enlightening hearing, and I've been seeing you all. So I said, let me be fair. You all need to see me as well. Danina, I'm so happy to see you. We've shared so much over the calls, and so one thing that came to mind is I could share that several years ago, 5, 6 or so years ago, when I didn't have transportation, and I was using a taxi cab service, and I came across a brother from Africa who was a cab driver, and he and I we just connected. It was just conversation in a cab ride. He was from, I can't say for sure that I remember, but maybe Nigeria somewhere. And I got rides with this brother several times, Ayana and I. And so I know one of the places where he used to take us would to be to church, to St. Cecilia. And of course, that's not a far ride, but if it was wintertime or whatever, for whatever reason, we didn't walk. I had this cab. And we, in that short distance, but we had other rides as well, but we had conversations about his growing up in Nigeria, if that is correct location. And the fact that the missionaries there still, I mean, this brother, as I'm thinking back on him now, he was within my age range. And so he was saying how they were required to be renamed. He remembered that happening to him as a child, and here he was taking me to this Catholic church, and I probably said, well, brother, come on in. And, at some point I might have even invited him in, and he was talking to me about this experience with Catholics. that he had had in Africa, and how they did still have the practice of renaming them with these so-called Christian names. And he said he never did like that. He didn't appreciate that. And so, needless to say, he never bothered to come into the church. But yes, purpose is so deep, and I think everyone that shared expounded something really unique and beautiful. And so thank you for that. And good to see everybody. And brother, no, I'm not familiar with that. I don't think this particular song. I mean, I'm sure I maybe heard it before, but I couldn't just bust into it right now. So thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to share something with us that they have on their mind? Okay. If not, we'd like to thank everybody for coming. And what we're going to have is at the at the end, when we finish the 7 days, we're going to put them all up on YouTube, so that anybody that you missed any of these, or if you want to share them with your friends, or you think your family members need to hear or whatever, they're going to be up on YouTube under you type in search Dr. William Emanuel, Dr. William Emanuel. And then if you just put that in, there'll be People of Color in the Bible will show up of me speaking on that. That was a tape done years ago, and different other things, what the church is hitting from us, miseducation, true education, health, all different things. And if you scroll through, there's going to be one that says Kwanzaa, and you'll be able to click on that, and that you'll be able to bring up to see the different videos. So I'm going to try to group them in a 1, 2, 3, 4, so you know which one for each week. So we'd like to thank everybody for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow on our 6th day. And we'll have one of the names that we had up there, Duro De La will be presenting to us. He'll be in charge of that study. Thank you, and everyone have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye all.
Everybody be well. Peace and blessings.
Yep. Peace and blessings.